says that iBooks the iBook application will work with any EPUB formatted book. So I presume if it's not non-DRM'd content, but that should mean that if you download something from exactly,
that's huge.
The exact line is the Books app uses the EPUB format. As the most popular open book format in the world, that makes it easier for publishers to create iBooks versions of their favorite reads. And you can add free EPUB titles to iTunes and sync them to the iBooks app on your iPad.
So that's what everybody's been asking me. If I get an iBook, can I download arbitrary books and put them on my my iPad? So the answer is yes.
Right. It looks like you'll be responsible for downloading them yourself. It looked from there's still a lot of blanks left to be filled in here, but the wordage makes me think that it'd be more like an iTunes syncing sort of thing, where you can sort of introduce it into iTunes and then tell iTunes, please sync these books. It would be great if there was a file association with the EPUB format, so that if I tap on a download link in Project Gutenberg in Safari, it automatically hands off that dot extension and makes it available in iBooks.
Well, you can make that yourself, can't you? I mean, you just do that yourself.
Yeah. Change that in the with a default default application. But what's really invigorating about that is I think all of us have been wondering all along whether this will have some kind of parity with what's made the iTunes Store successful. Which even before the Alex and I talk about this every week, but before the apps even came along, I think one thing, if the iTunes Store went out of the box saying all you can have is DRM'd AACs.
That would have been horrible.
A much slower adoption.
Yeah,
but now, I mean, I may not need iCaliber to have my books sync up. I like iCaliber okay for what it is, but I really would much rather have something. And if they can pull that off with the companies they're negotiating with, think about what that does for Apple in the long run. Again, they become the hub. You're not relying on some kind of cobbled, with all respect, some cobbled together Python app to do your syncing.
What do you guys use to convert things to EPUB? Because I'm going to have PDFs and I have other things that aren't in PDF. Maybe PDFs will sync. Probably they will, right? I just use Stanza. Stanza will convert to any convert from any format to any format. A couple of features that people don't really use that they should is the ability to convert even desktop Word documents and Office documents to EPUB formats. Also, you can just simply give it a URL to any web page, and it'll turn that web page into an ebook. Well, that was another thing we learned, which is that the version of Pages that will be the $10 version of Pages that'll be on the iPad will not only read but also write Word files,
which the current one does.
Yeah, but
for business, I think that's a big deal.
But that was a new thing. But the other cool thing is that's another piece of sort of boilerplate that was appearing in just about every single iWork app. You can easily share the documents you create in Pages in a few ways. Attach them to an email as Pages files for the Mac, Microsoft Word files, PDF documents, or upload them to the iWork.com public beta. And there's a text in every one of these apps that simply says that any document you create in these apps can be shared with not just with other iWork apps, but also with just about any other app that's visible to the rest of the OS. So
we really see a lot of business folks who don't do a lot of heavy computing, just wanting to have an iPad that they can
read and modify a Word document.
Yeah,
fantastic.
For salespeople, I think that's going to be
a lot of people are buying and very painfully Windows mobile devices, Windows mobile phones, so that they can read and write their Word